You're listening to Mike Dell's World with your host, Mike Dell. From Mike Dell Studios, this is a Mike Dell production, created by Mike Dell. Mike Dell.
Yeah, and anyway, I am the aforementioned Mike Dell. Welcome to Mike Dell's World number 321. Today is June 12th, 2019. A rainy day here in Traverse City, Michigan. Thinking I may have to build an ark. Been having a lot of rain this spring. I guess it's still officially spring for another, another 15 days or so, something like that. 10 days, I don't know. 8 days, jeez. Anyway, still spring, mid-June, and like I said, we're having a lot of rain, and a lot of that rain's coming into my basement. And at this point, I'm really just trying to keep up. So I got everything up off the floor that can't get wet, and just kind of letting it run its course. I've got 2 sump pumps running, and it's, the floor is damp, but, it's not puddling up, so we're good. Other than that, a lot of stuff going on around here. Seems like every single weekend there's something going on. I don't specifically know why it always happens this way every year, but, every weekend something is going on. And, I thought after all my travels this spring that I would be done and have a couple of weekends to just not do anything, and it's not kind of been the case. Started out with a camping trip. I don't know. It's a couple of weeks ago, or 3-4 weeks ago, I guess. I went camping for the weekend and came back, and I thought, oh, good, I'm going to be home next weekend, and then, no, got to go to a wedding downstate, so we did that. And then, last weekend was my nephew's graduation party. Well, that was cool. He graduated high school and is sprung and free and all that good stuff. That wasn't a big deal. Got to hang out with the family and all that. This weekend, of course, is Father's Day, so probably having another blast somewhere for Father's Day. That's all right. And let me make sure that I've got this set right. All right. Okay. Sorry about that. Yeah, I think I had the gate a little too tight. You might notice the audio sounds a little bit different. I switched up on the microphones here, not that you care about that, but should sound okay. Should sound maybe a little better than the previous setup. I don't know. Running an RE20 Electro Voice microphone, which, if you're at all familiar with radio, it's pretty much the microphone that's in every single radio station I've ever set foot in. So figured I would step up to that. I had one RE20 that I hadn't really used much, and then a friend of mine had one that he was getting rid of for a reasonable price, so I picked that up. And so now I got an RE20 in this studio, and I'll have a spare for when I have a guest that sounds similarly the same. And then I can take my PR40 Heil microphone and hook that up to the ham radio station on the other side of the room here. That way, Heil makes a lot of ham radio mics. The PR40 isn't necessarily meant for ham radio, but since I have it, I might as well use it. So that's the change here down in the studio. Have been experimenting here with some things podcast related. PowerPress, the plugin I use for podcasting here at MikeDell.com. Went through an update that should help with Google search and a couple other minor little things that has been issues with it, and I've been testing the beta version of it, but today was the release version of those little fixes. So if you get this, you know it's working. Also been experimenting with ad injection. Just not that I'm going to put ads in this, but this is a good test podcast for that. So you'll notice if you listen to this, there may be a pre-roll welcoming you to June. If you're listening to this in July, I'll probably have another one that says, hi, this is July, whatever. But those are little pre-rolls that get changed out every so often in the thing. And if you don't hear it at all, well, then the campaign ended, and there won't be anything before I start talking. Or actually, Mark starts talking. It's the guy that did the little intro thing there. But you've been rather busy work-wise, staying real busy. Kathy's been staying real busy at her job, and she's going to be going in for some back surgery here soon. So getting ready for that, and she's ready to get that done. She definitely needs to get that fixed, and so she'll be down and out for a bit, and it's going to be a bit of a change because she's a very busy person, and be off work for at least a couple of months, but shouldn't be earth-shattering. Hopefully they get done what they need to get done, and she heals up quick and can get on with bigger, better, better things and all that. So I just wanted to make a quick little update here on Mike Dell's World. Haven't really been doing a lot of other podcasting. Still keeping up with the Your podcast over at blueberry.com or powerpresspodcast.com. That's where it is. And that's going to be changed up here pretty soon. We're not sure when, but that one's going to probably go weekly with a name change and a little bit of a format change. And I'll probably be on some of it and not all of it. So that'll be good. We need to step up our game on that particular one. And if you're hearing that, what sounds like a toilet flushing in the background, that's my sump pump pumping. Doing that about every 3 or 4 minutes here while we're getting deluged with rain. Lake levels are really up in Traverse City here. The main harbor, I guess you'd call it, or the Clinch Park Marina downtown, where the old zoo used to be. They're having a little trouble with the all the docks and stuff are almost underwater, if not underwater, and some of the parking lots flooding, and the lake is up to record highs, and not too long ago it was at record lows, so it goes in a big cycle. But when it's really high, being that I'm 500 yards from the lake, my water table goes up, and that's hence why I'm getting all the flooding in the basement here. But we've gone through cycles like this before, and as long as we keep up with keeping the water pumped out and make sure we treat for mold after the fact so everything gets dried out properly. Won't be a problem, just a little inconvenience. But gotta say that the humidity level in the house is pretty optimum, which may not be a good thing. Sorry, I had to hit the cough button there. And actually, I'm kind of talking low here because Kathy ended up having to go in and bake the bagels. So she only got about 3 hours of sleep and had to go in at 2 in the morning to get the bagels ready for today. So she runs a bagel shop here in town. And she got that all done, got home, I don't know, I guess maybe 1 o'clock this afternoon, and she went and face planted. So keep it down a little bit. Other than that, like I said, nothing earth-shattering going on here. Normal Mike Dell's World, just what's going on. Figured I'd get something out, get something in the feed, make sure everything's working after the updates here, test out the new microphone. Hopefully I got my audio set the way I want it. I'll take a listen after the fact and maybe do a little adjusting. So I do have a podcast help desk episode ready to record and a fast food history episode. By the way, I switched the domain on fast food history. It was fastfoodhistory.org, and I dropped the .org, got the .com. So that's what's happening there. It should forward. The .org should forward to the .com. Might have to deal with GoDaddy a little bit, trying to get that squared away. But once that's all squared away, nobody should know that I changed, other than if they hand type it in. My next episode there is going to be Burger King, or Insta Burger King, as it was once known. So having a little fun researching that. That's the part of that show that I like. I don't do a lot of those episodes, but when I do, it's that they're well researched, and I learn a lot. And I did listen to a podcast not too long ago about Burger King versus McDonald's. Wondery Business Wars was the name of the show. They had a series on Burger King versus McDonald's, so I learned a lot there. Also read a book about Wendy's by Dave Thomas, the late Dave Thomas, the founder of Wendy's. So read that book, so I'll be doing an episode about Wendy's here not too distant future. I also read a book about Burger Chef, and by the way, there's a tie-in between Burger Chef and Burger King. Burger King bought some of the first Insta broilers, they're called, from a company in Indianapolis, Indiana. And that company, and I cannot remember off the top of my head what the name of the company was, but that company built a test restaurant there at their factory so that they could show off all their machinery. And the Insta broiler that Burger King bought for their broilers from that company was one of the features at their test restaurant, was called Burger Chef. Well, people would come down there to look at their equipment in this test restaurant, and they were more interested in buying the restaurant concept than they were buying the equipment. Although if they bought the restaurant concept, they had to buy the equipment, so they decided to franchise it, and that's how Burger Chef started. Too bad they couldn't get their stuff together and keep going, because they were number 2 behind McDonald's for a really long time. And then they imploded and sold to Hardee's. But anyway, that's for the other podcast. Anyway, everybody have a good, however long it is before I do the next one. And I got another new toy here, something that I can use to play sound effects like this. Yes, there's a ding. There's crickets. And those of you that listen to No Agenda, you'll recognize this. That's the goat scream. Anyway, I'm out of here. Catch me later.